On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
6:07 on the Get Up and Go Show. It's the TGIF. Thank God it's flippin' Friday. How about I say TGIFF for flippin' Friday? Because the weekend, if that's what you want to call it, is upon us. And the band played on, right, Bonnie?
Yeah, maybe it'll play right through the weekend for us to enjoy, all the way into Monday when we get back. And we know we always get back there fast.
Yeah, they got a nice upbeat song for us this morning to kick off the Get Up and Go Show. And that's the way it should be. Friday's here, and a lot of people have a lot of good things to look forward to on Monday, right?
Yeah, on Monday we do. I'm looking forward to going back out to a restaurant, finally.
Okay.
Are you going to be one of those maybe that will go to the restaurant?
Nope, not doing it.
I want to go back to my favorite one, my favorite hangout venue, and just hang there and hang out for a while.
Where are you going to go?
We like going to Big Apple Pizza.
Okay. All right. Don't hang out too long, though.
I know.
And the reason I say that is because all the restaurants are 25% capacity. So there's going to be people outside waiting.
Yeah.
So you don't want to dilly-dally. You want to get in, sit down, eat, finish, tip your server, and get out of there so the next person can eat.
You're right.
Done and over with.
You have to be cordial to your fellow man with that coming up too.
Got to.
Yes.
Got to.
And tip your server.
Yep, definitely tip them because they have not been working for gosh knows how long.
I know. I'm hoping the servers that at least where we go to, maybe some of those servers were able to cross over into another thing where they're needed, like doing the pizza delivery driving, or
maybe some of them started doing that,
taking some phone orders, or making the incredible doughy bread things that they make there. Why am I not thinking of them right now?
I know the folks at Uber Eats and DoorDash and all those other delivery services have literally been busy. We ordered some food about a week or so ago when the torrential downpour was going on. And I felt so bad. The delivery driver, kind of like the mailman, through rain, sleet, thick and thin, they deliver. And boy, let me tell you, this poor girl, I'm telling you, it was like a hurricane outside. But you know what? Dedication. She brought the food to the door. She stood 6 feet away. I've even got video of it. And she just stood there and waited for us to pick it up. And then she got her little satchel and she left in the rain.
Was she wearing her mask too? And with that facial mask getting all wet and such?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's hard to go back to work, to go back in that pizza place when your clothes are all soaking wet too.
Yeah, you just gave me an idea too. I think I may stop on the way home today and pick up a pizza. Now, you just gave me a craving for pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there are so many great pizza places in town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, incredible. I'm liking a lot of those places lately.
My 17-year-old Gavin, he actually likes to make pizza. He'll buy the dough when he gets off work at Publix, and he'll get a jar of Prego sauce and kind of put the flour down. He'll knead the dough. He'll slap the sauce on it, slap the cheese on it, and then we have this pizza maker at home that rotates around, and then it heats from the top and the bottom, and it cooks it evenly. And we've got home cooked pizza.
Does it make a really good pizza?
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
Comparable to anything else, like pizza that you've had while you're out?
I don't know. I don't know if it's comparable to that because I don't want to knock my kid's pizza.
Yeah.
But he does make a pretty wicked good pizza. But I don't know. I kind of miss my my pizza at Anthony's. I would have to say Anthony's Pizza is one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, I remember eating there back in the day, and they had a nice big pizza slice too.
They have this huge gargantua pizza that George from Kentucky, whenever he comes down, he goes to Anthony's and he picks up this pizza. I kid you not. The box is as wide as this radio console.
Wow.
And it's like from where I'm sitting to the wall.
Uh-huh.
That's how big the pizza is. You cannot put this on your front seat.
Right.
It won't fit. It has to go in like the trunk of an SUV.
That's all right though. What puzzles me is like if I'm out to say like is it Walmart or something, and maybe they have the Walmart brand pizza, but
Right.
they make the pizza huge. I mean, the boxes are gigantic for them. And I've always been afraid to take one home because I'm afraid the whole darn pizza is not going to fit in my oven. And then I think I actually in the past I have brought one home before where I had to cut, even though it's frozen, I had to cut that pizza in half to get it in the oven.
Now, you know what happens? There's a new word I'm going to teach you too. When you combine gigantic and enormous, you know what the word is?
Ginormous.
Very good.
Oh,
Very good.
kinda,
Excellent.
I love like pushing words together.
Yes,
And
that was great.
you know, like kind of like that whole Bradgelina thing.
It's a ginormous pizza.
I love it.
Literally, flippin' enormous.
Yeah. I've tried to make Chicago style pizza in
Now,
the past.
what is Chicago style pizza?
No, you got to have the real Chicago style pizza. I mean, I've had it up in Madison, Wisconsin is where I've gotten the best.
Okay, so how do you get Chicago style pizza in Madison, Wisconsin?
Well,
I'm confused.
Madison is just so close. It's probably 3 hours away from Chicago.
Okay.
And that's all in that. I've also had the Chicago style in Toledo, Ohio, when I visited there.
Okay.
But I lived in Madison for 5 years and we would order it all the time. It's Chicago style is a deep dish. It's when it's made right, it's like a delicacy. It's
Really?
it's like no pizza you've ever had.
Okay.
And for you eating maybe 2 up to 3 slices,
Mhm.
you would be full.
Really?
They pack it with cheese. The crust is real thin on the bottom,
Okay.
kind of flaky coming up like a pie around
right.
the edges.
Okay.
And the sauce is like a tangy kind of if the sauce is made just right
Okay.
with the right seasons and herbs, that sauce oozing in with that flavor into the melting mozzarella cheese. And usually they put a nice pesto mix in it or a spinach cheese mix in it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sounds appetizing.
I had a good Chicago style pizza the last time I visited DeLand. There's a place in DeLand that can make it pretty good. And it's pretty close to the real deal.
Now, I know that when I go to New York and visit New York, there's one thing I have to have, and that's New York style pizza. Nothing beats New York style pizza from the city. Now that, and also, you ever had a potato knish?
No.
Oh, those are so good.
I like the name of it. It's anything potato sounding good.
Potato knish. You get it at the street side. They have them at the street side vendors and the delis. And speaking of delis, there was a deli that I used to go to in New York all the time. It's called the Stage Deli, I do believe, the Stage or Stagecoach Deli. Their sandwiches, no joke, their sandwiches were like this thick.
Oh,
I'm talking
my
like
goodness.
3 inches thick.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
wow.
Like you just looking at it just gets you kind of that feeling of alarmness, like, oh boy, can I even eat this? Am I going to break my mouth?
Now, don't think this is gross, what I'm about to say to you, okay? But have you ever heard it's a delicacy and you really have to have a taste for it, okay? And a lot of places don't have it down here. It's called tongue. You ever heard of tongue?
No.
Okay, it's cow tongue is what it is. Now, don't gross out.
Oh.
Seriously. And I'm not saying this to gross you out, okay? But it is a delicacy. And people will eat a tongue sandwich with cheese and mustard, and it's really, really delicious.
Yikes.
It's really delicious.
Oh,
I
wow.
cannot find this in Publix or any of the supermarkets. They don't sell it.
Mhm.
So I have to go to a real true deli to go in and have a tongue sandwich. And it's actually real good. I know you're making faces.
I know.
Now, if you saw what it looked like as a whole,
Yeah.
you would run out the door. Okay, I'm telling you right now, you would run out the door because it literally looks like a cow's tongue. Okay, but when it's sliced up, you would never know.
Hmm.
And it's delicious. And if I were to bring in a couple of slices and you were to try it,
Yeah.
you would be like, wow, this is really good. And then I tell you what it is, and you'd probably run and hightail it right to the bathroom.
I would. If you're telling me what that is, no matter how good you say it is,
Yeah.
I'm just.
And you put a little deli mustard on it too.
It's like a moral ground thing or something.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to try that.
Right. But now now stop and think about it though,
Yeah.
because you eat pork chops. Okay, but then if you go to a barbecue
Yeah.
and they're roasting a pig, the whole pig is on the grill.
No.
Okay. And then they cut up the pig and you eat the meat. So it's kind of like on the same premise as that.
Yeah.
When you see the pig, are you going to eat the meat?
Right. It is a little bit
It's
on
a
that same
visual.
premise, true.
It's a visual.
And that wild pig that they have usually
Mm-hmm.
at the backyard barbecues, if they like go and like shoot a pig around here, it's not quite the same.
Right.
I guess it must have more of a gamey taste. It's not like your sweet baking flavor.
I couldn't tell you because it depends on how they season it, and then you have your different sauces and your toppings and things like that. But there's no backyard barbecue that's not complete unless you go where they roast the pig. But you know what the icing on the cake is?
What's that?
They have to have the apple in the pig's mouth.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have the apple in the pig's mouth. The roasting of the pig is not complete unless you have the apple in the mouth.
Doesn't that go all the way back to childhood fairy tale and the pictures in those storybooks too?
Exactly. Yes, it does.
But just think pretty soon is Memorial Day weekend and the backyard barbecues will be arriving.
Yeah, that's going to be a true test though with everything that's going on because every week Governor DeSantis is going to be updating us and letting us know what we can do, what we can't do, what he's going to allow to reopen up, how it's going to reopen up. So, with Memorial Day weekend creeping up on us, people are really going to have to be careful what they do out there and where they go and how they do it.
But with all these phases and even like with the restaurants opening up somewhat on Monday,
right?
Each little step is going to feel a little bit, what's that word? Celebratory? Celebration.
It's a
I have a hard time with it.
Yeah, you and I, we need to go find our tongues.
Each time is celebration.
Mine's on a sandwich somewhere. Anyway, but yeah, I know what you're saying though. It's going to be a happy moment. But here's the thing: Memorial Day weekend, everybody's going to want to go to the beach. Okay, and what are the rules for going to the beach? No chairs, no coolers. No cooking, no barbecues. You can't do all that because the beaches are open strictly for swimming and exercising unless the governor pulls back the curtain and says that, yes, you can bring your chair, but you have to practice social distancing.
For me, it's about just really missing that water. So I'm going to go in and take a dip and leave.
Yeah, that's right.
Just plunge.
Go in, get wet, dry off, and go home.
Maybe hang out in the water
Kinda
for
like
a while to really.
You could hang out in the water. You could hang out and swim in the water.
I'll tread
because
water.
that's a form of that's a form of exercise. They
yeah.
want you to do that. Okay, but they don't want you to put your towel down. They don't want you to hang out on the beach and get a suntan. That's not the whole objective right now.
I know. No lounging. I can't wait to go out to Stewart Beach, the beach I like to go to. And there's that little area where as soon as you get, first it feels shallow and you step out a couple of feet and then it dips down. And then it gets shallow again, but with that dip down, it feels like a nice, cool bathtub in there.
Got to be careful, though. Watch out for the undertow.
Yeah.
6:20 on the Get Up and Go show on this Friday. It's time for news. Let's head over to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Take it away, Bonnie.
And Evan, the coronavirus cases, we're going to break them down by county. The number of confirmed thus far in Martin County, 191. Where there are 6 deaths. And in St. Lucie County, 247 confirmed cases with 22 deaths. For Indian River County, 90 confirmed, and there are 7 deaths. The latest numbers from the Department of Health showing 33,690 coronavirus cases in Florida. 1,268 people have died. President Trump is praising Governor Ron DeSantis for the job he's done during the coronavirus pandemic.
Every shot right. He knows what he's doing, and yet he hasn't clamped down to a point where nobody can breathe. He's let people live.
Speaking to the Florida News Network, Trump said the economy will recover and predicted the fourth quarter will be, quote, fantastic. Among those most vulnerable to the coronavirus, TSA workers.
It's not a choice. It's mandatory that they interact closely and daily with passengers, thereby increasing the likelihood of being exposed to COVID-19.
Is Florida ready to reopen? Days away from the first phase of the governor's plan, critics say COVID-19 testing isn't where it should be. They worry Florida doesn't yet have a clear picture of its health. WPTV's Forrest Saunders has more.
On the front lines of COVID-19, drive up and walk up testing sites, some of them seeing 200, 300 or more people each day. That is, as long as supplies last.
Some days you're drinking through a fire hose and other days it's a drip.
Dr. Temple Robinson runs this site through the Bond Community Health Center. While her staff is doing the best it can, she worries without more testing, COVID-19's true spread remains elusive.
We don't know if we're at the tip of the iceberg or the tip of the iceberg in Leon County.
Her concerns extend across the state. Supplies of testing reagents, swabs, and kits, not where some medical professionals would like them to be.
We cannot get enough testing kits for the need out there.
Florida's Community Health Center Association saying state officials are currently triaging testing supplies and PPE. Healthcare providers in most need coming first, others getting what they can when they can.
We may have to go out and find our own because we have people that are showing up for testing every single day.
It goes Joanne a little bit.
Looking at the numbers, Florida is doing well in overall testing, ranked third in the nation. But critics point out the state drops to 22nd for testing per 1,000 people. Average daily results more than 13,000 over the last 2 weeks. Opponents to the state's plan wanting at least twice that.
Good afternoon.
Even so, Governor DeSantis plans to slowly reopen some parts of Florida Monday. The Republican saying a big factor in his decision, not the number of tests, rather the rate of positives, which look to be decreasing.
We've been in the 4.5%, 5%, 6%. Just to put that in perspective, you look at like a New Jersey, I think they're at 40 or 50% of all their tests test positive.
DeSantis has promised to boost total testing numbers regardless, saying he expects about 30 to 40,000 tests daily by next week, though it is unclear if there are enough supplies to meet that number. That's the latest out here. I'll send it back to you.
Martin County Public Schools will hold traditional high school graduation ceremonies in late July, officials announced on Thursday. The Martin County School District is committed to doing everything possible to celebrate the most significant senior milestone, graduation, in a way that honors your individual and collective accomplishments. Superintendent Lori Gaylord said this in a YouTube video. Well, if the NBA does resume its season down the line, a method of doing so being widely discussed is the use of a so-called bubble city. NBA is considering using Disney World as a venue to resume the season, and a number of possible locations have made the rounds, including Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and the Bahamas in the past. News time is 6:25. Weather and traffic together are next.
.26 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
We're not seeing any accident on our highways on a Friday morning. Everything is looking fine now on the roads if you're just heading out. There's your latest look at traffic. And we knew it was cool this morning, just didn't know how cool it was. It's a 57 in Port St. Lucie, in Stewart 59. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
A cool, crisp morning along the Treasure Coast with temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 50s under mostly clear skies. Temperatures are running close to 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. This afternoon, comfortable with highs in the upper 70s, low humidity, and sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the low 60s. The nice weather continues into the weekend. Highs in the mid-80s, mostly sunny skies with low rain chances, and winds coming in out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Early next week, our temperatures start to warm back up, so by Wednesday, we're in the low 90s.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, wstumorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
.629, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie and the band. Play it on, Bonnie.
You know, I could really do some house cleaning to this music, Evan.
Yeah.
I would enjoy doing so with I would be dancing and partying it up with my broom, with my mopping around the floor.
You'll have to get Gary to take some video of that. I would love to see that.
That'd be good.
You dancing around your kitchen with your sweats on and sweeping away.
And the cat's looking at me like I'm goofy or
like
something.
You've lost your marbles.
Yes.
Like, is she on catnip or what?
But then the little the broom would come out and I'd be shooing, and all of a sudden you'd see little tails flying and cats running away.
Yeah. I like the band uniforms that the Get Up and Go show band are wearing today. They're looking good.
Whew, dapper.
That green
Yeah.
looks really nice.
Yeah, just dapper.
A little too bright for my eyes this early in the morning. Definitely. I think they'll need to tone it down to maybe a blue on Monday.
Are you seeing sunspots even after seeing that bright green?
Sunspots. I need sunglasses. You know, I peeked in the room when I arrived and they were in there tuning up the band, and all of a sudden it's like, bam. I'm like, wow, guys, you need to like tone it down a little bit.
At least we know their clothes are clean.
Yeah, definitely. So there's some viral videos out there, Bonnie, again, for a Friday. We do this each and every day at 6:30 in the morning. A lot of women would love to see men using wet sponges more while social distancing, but this probably isn't what they had in mind. A man in Idaho named David Rush took 43 hits to the face with wet sponges to break a Guinness World Record. He needed to do it within 30 seconds. His friend threw 54 sponges at him.
Oh, wow.
And 43 successfully hit his face. This is what it sounds like.
Hey there, folks. It's David Rush.
Every time. Go on. Continue.
Hey there, folks. It's David Rush here with Jonathan H. Hit me with a lawsuit. Hit me with a sponge. I don't care, Hannon.
Right, and that's pretty much what they did.
Could you imagine how much that would sting your face? Being hit with a wet, heavy sponge that number of times in just 30 seconds.
Oh my.
The stinging involved.
It's awful. Well, it's not really. I mean, just listen in.
3, 2, 1, go.
He's not really throwing them that hard.
Uh-huh.
He's just kind of tossing them underhand.
Yeah.
Is what he's doing.
It's just that the repetitiveness of it might tend to sting a little bit.
You know, that just gave me an idea. I'm
What?
going to try that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Make sure it's a clean household sponge
Yeah.
though when you do
I'll
it.
go to the store and I'll buy like 50 sponges and I'll dip them all in water. I'll put them in a big thing of water.
Yes.
And I'll have Gavin just like toss them and like within 30 seconds and see how many I can get.
Maybe we'll be showing the viral video next week of you then, Evan.
I don't know where we'd show it at, but I mean, that it would be kind of fun to do. Maybe I'll post it on Facebook.
And it wouldn't surprise me that people are doing this sort of thing or would be doing. People are just doing so many number of things under the sun
I mean,
now.
better yet, I'll have Gavin be the guinea pig and I'll underhand them to his forehead.
Yeah.
And let me hit his forehead. That would give me great satisfaction. But then again, somebody knowing knowing somebody, they'd probably call the police and report child abuse.
People looking for things to do. You know, I heard this morning there's a kid at home that he likes to cook. So he made these incredible chicken wings for his family.
Mm-hmm.
And then he dressed himself up like a Hooters waitress.
Really?
With the fake knockers on and served
Really?
up the chicken wings to his family.
No kidding.
Any way to get creative, right?
Okay. Well, you won't catch me in a Hooters outfit, that's for sure.
You could dress up as Colonel Sanders maybe and serve some fried chicken.
That I might be
Yeah.
able to do. I could get the white hair
The white
wig,
hair.
right? Let my beard grow out a little bit or my goatee grow out a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a meteorologist by the name of Paul, Delgado from Fox 13 News out of Tampa was trying to give a weather report when his dog Brody interrupted and banged his head into the computer, which caused Paul Weather Maps to completely malfunction. All right, so let me bring up there's no audio on this.
I think there is, Evan, and I'm pretty sure it should be nice and clean for us.
Oh,
too.
wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, it would help if I had the volume up on the soundboard. Let's try this again.
Come here, buddy. You just messed. Come up here for a second. Just come on. Come up here. Come on. Up. The maps aren't going to move because he just whacked the computer with his head. So let me just verbalize the forecast. Okay, that wasn't very smart. We'll have clouds overnight tonight with temps.
He's
in the
scolding his
60s,
dog
then
on the
tomorrow,
air.
a mix of clouds and
Yeah,
sun.
the dog
a
just
couple
wants to give him
showers,
love.
And temperatures will top off in the probably the mid 80s, and then coming up on
Dog's facing
Friday,
the camera now. He wants a
Saturday,
little camera
probably
time.
turning
Dog's
more
even
humid,
smiling.
with temperatures again in the
Now
in
he's
the
yawning.
mid-80s to mini
Obviously,
PPL.
that's what he
Next time,
thinks of
buddy.
the
maps aren't gonna move
meteorologist weather forecast.
I wanted to see a lick in his face there.
That would have been pretty cool.
That's a pretty dog. I mean, when I looked at that dog, Evan, it looks like a golden retriever, right?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely it's a golden retriever.
Makes me want to have one now. That dog is so lovable and nice and huggable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Golden retrievers are a lot of fun. They're great
Yeah.
pets to have. They shed an awful lot though.
yeah.
They definitely do. Definitely
Yeah.
do. Bonnie, experts, did you know I've got some pretty interesting facts that I wanted to get your thoughts on here as I tick through them this morning. It's a segment that we like to call Did You Know? Did you know that experts recommend it's good for your weight to go for a walk in the morning time? In the morning, not in the afternoon, not in the evening, but in the morning time. Experts say that's the best time to go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know how we would do that because we're on the show in the morning.
I know.
So that'd be really tough to do.
I've been thinking about getting up in like an hour or a half hour earlier to do it.
I see people walking sometimes at 4 a.m. when I'm driving in to the Palatial Palace here at the radio studios. I've seen people on Becker Road that are running and jogging and riding their bikes that early.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting to see that.
It is the best time of the day, really, to do it.
Did you know, Bonnie, that of all the fast food restaurants out there, Subway has the most worldwide locations.
Oh, really?
I would have thought it would be like McDonald's or Burger King or something like that.
So that's what
But
I would have
Subway
thought.
tops McDonald's and Burger King's with the most worldwide locations.
Wow. And it had to have started, I bet, in New York City. I'm pretty sure.
I don't
The
know.
Subway,
I'm not really sure.
the name Subway.
Yeah, get it?
Yeah.
Subway.
Yeah.
There's a Subway in New York.
And I've
Yeah.
never been on one. You've probably
Really?
been on the Subway.
I've been on the Subway. It's pretty cool.
I want the experience.
No, you don't want the experience
No.
now. No.
Oh, well,
No.
maybe not now,
No,
but
because right now, with everything going on in New York has shut the subways down between the hours of 1 o'clock in the morning and 5 in the morning
yeah.
to actually clean them and sanitize them. They're doing that every single day.
I bet you. And I've never been on the L train in Chicago either. That's the
Okay.
one that you see on Risky Business with Tom Cruise and that gal in the L train.
Okay. All right. Bonnie, did you know that a survey says that the average American is willing to drive up to 36 miles out of the way for a good meal?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I believe that.
I would do that.
consider it.
Yeah, I would do that. I would drive from Port St. Lucie down to Jupiter,
Yes.
which is a 30-mile drive down the I-95 corridor.
I would drive up to Vero or Sebastian for something if it was that good.
There's a restaurant that sits on the water in Sebastian area. I can't think of the name of it.
Is it Harry's or no? I'm thinking of Harry and the Natives.
No, I
that's
can't think
down
of the
in
name
Hope
of
Sound.
it. It's a really popular place. They have a band that plays out there and everything.
You know what? I know. I think I know what you're saying because we have passed it when we had to take US 1 back from Palm Bay one time because there was big traffic backup on 95. So
I can't think of the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
and it's right on the ocean side in Sebastian, right?
It's on the riverside. It's on the riverside. I can see
It's
it.
a resort too, isn't it?
Yes.
Resort.
Pirates Cove. Is it Pirates Cove? No, not Pirates Cove. No, Pirates Cove is in Jensen. I can't think of the name of it. It's like right there.
Yeah. And I know I want you to because I want you to think of it because I'm trying to think of it too. And now as I look it up,
This is going to really bother me.
I know because actually you mentioned a band and there's a
Yeah.
gentleman from work that before this virus going on and such, he was going there for one
Yeah.
night to see a show.
I've done a few weddings there because they have an upstairs banquet room. And there's a very small elevator that you go on to get up to the second floor.
Is there really?
Yeah, I can't think of the name. If anybody happens to
Yeah.
know the name of this restaurant, please call and help us. We are like pleading on our hands and knees to get the name of this restaurant. 772-220-9788. Give us a call here at the Palatial Studios if you think you happen to know what the name of this restaurant is.
I know, Evan, because I've even thought of like staying there for a getaway. I
Yeah.
wanted, but I can't think of it.
This is going to bother us all
It
morning.
is, and I'm not finding it.
No.
What's wrong with me? I'm not even finding it.
No, it's not on Google.
What in the world? What?
Yeah. All right. While you're searching,
Okay.
Bonnie, did you know 39% of us have trouble falling asleep on a Sunday evening, on a Sunday night of all nights?
Yeah. I think that goes with the feel of that anxiety. That anxiety level is up so high because you're getting so geared up for Monday morning.
Yeah, definitely. Did you know 4 out of 10 employees worry most about someone looking at their internet browsing history?
Especially if you're looking up something you shouldn't be looking up.
Right, or that professor from the University of Miami that had a porn site saved in his favorites while he was giving a lesson.
Of all the things, was it Pelican's Landing?
No, it's not Pelican's Landing.
That's not.
No.
Okay.
No, I would know it. As soon as you say it, I'll know what it is.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know houses next to a cemetery take longer to sell, but bring in up to 10% of more money than comparable properties when they do sell?
More money? Well, probably because a cemetery across the street is peaceful and the people are resting.
I'm going to text a friend of mine that's also a DJ and ask him, hold on, what's the name?
I even looked up Resorts Malabar, but I think it's Sebastian.
No, all right, hold on. We have a call coming in, so let's see. Maybe this call might be able to help us. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. How are you today?
All right, I think the place you're talking about, excuse me, is Pirates Cove Marina. It's in the Pocket, Manatee Pocket. and the restaurant is Pirates Loft.
Oh, you
It's
know what?
also a resort.
Pirates Cove is a good one. I bet, though, that we were thinking of Captain Hiram's.
Captain Hiram's, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Captain Hiram's. That's the name of the place.
I just saw it.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pirates Cove is that's in Jensen, correct?
No, it's in the Manatee Pocket.
Oh, in the Manatee Pocket. Okay, because there is a Pirates Cove down this way also.
That's where I want to go
Here
too.
in Martin County.
You see?
Yes, yes. What's your name, by the way?
Pirates Cove is the name of the marina
Okay.
in the Manatee Pocket.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yes.
Pirates Loft is the bar and restaurant, I believe.
Yes. And Captain Hiram's was the place that I was. We were racking our brain about in the Sebastian area. Where are you calling from, by the way, this morning?
I'm calling from my office. Actually, I'm in my car right now trying to get into my office.
That's where's your office located at?
On East Ocean.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. And who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Dr. Lustgarten speaking.
Dr. Lustgarten. And what kind of doctor are you, if you don't mind me asking?
A good one.
Well, I would hope so. All right.
That's the answer we wanted.
If you need a good doctor, then call Dr. Lustgarten. There you go.
I'm a urologist.
There you go. All right. That would be a guy doctor.
No, that's not true.
We're gonna set up your own TV series and call it A Good Doctor.
There you go. A good doctor. I actually have a friend of mine that's a urologist in Port St. Lucie. He has an office in St. Lucie West.
Oh, I thought he said he was a meteorologist.
No, he's a urologist, Bonnie.
I don't know why I heard meteorologist.
He forecasts urine streams. Okay. Jeez. Wow.
Well.
Wow. See, we just added a new flip to your title. You're a urologist and a meteorologist.
Yeah, all at once.
All in one. You forecast the stream, as they say.
Those meteor showers, you might say.
Hey, Doc, thanks so much for calling in. I appreciate you very much, and thank you so much for your service to the community as well.
You're welcome.
All right,
bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now. Boy, you gave that poor guy a new title. He's never gonna be right. How do you get a meteorologist?
That's what I heard the first time, and I'm like,
oh
going, what?
boy.
I'm like, oh, it's a doctor that's in the media.
Oh! All right. Did you know that if you're 60 or older, you've lost about half of your taste buds?
Really? Oh, that doesn't surprise me,
yeah,
right?
You've lost about half your taste buds. And did you know that if you're keeping a close eye on your calories, you'll be glad to know that you're watching a scary movie a scary movie burns about 320 calories.
See, I'm going to tell Gary we got to watch more scary movies now. And
exactly.
He doesn't like scary movies, so we don't watch enough of them.
Yeah. Did you also know that 20% of people say they call themselves at least once a week to find their phone?
I believe it.
Bonnie, have you ever called yourself?
Yeah. And usually it's once a week, too.
I have a pretty cool feature on my watch that enables me to, if I can't find my phone, I hit this button.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and let's see if you can hear it. I hit this button, and it makes my phone make a noise.
But
like
now,
this. Hear that?
I do. That's very nice. Now, when the phone's somewhere in your house, is that noise loud enough for you to find it, to hear it?
Yeah, when there's dead silence in my house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. That's a neat feature to have. Is that feature called anything? Or?
It's just part of the Apple Watch. It's part of the Apple platform, so to speak.
Great technology.
So if you have an Apple Watch and you lose your iPhone in your home, you can just open up that little part on your wrist.
And in our house,
tap the icon.
In our house, it's I can't find my phone. Where's your phone?
You know, it's crazy. And speaking of finding things, we bought Kaya a Kong, our Belgian, a Kong.
Oh.
And Kong is one of the toughest things that you can have as a chew toy as an animal. Wow. You can't be destroyed.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
And so we gave her this Kong and she takes it and she plays with it around the house. And then it's crazy because I'll say to her, "Where's your toy? Go get your toy."
Yeah.
And then she'll scour the house and she knows where she left it.
Oh,
and she'll go find that toy and then she'll bring it to me.
She can sniff it out.
She can sniff it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the watch sniffing out the cell phone.
Only the dog sniffing out
its own
breath.
sniffs out its own toy. 6:46 right now. The Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk. Or Bonnie's standing by. Take it away, Bonnie.
Well, Evan, the latest numbers from the Department of Health showing 33,690 coronavirus cases in Florida. 1,268 people have died. President Trump is praising Governor Ron DeSantis for the job he's done during the coronavirus pandemic.
He's called every shot right. He knows what he's doing, and yet he hasn't clamped down to a point where nobody can breathe. He's let people live.
With the announcement Wednesday that some Florida restaurants and retailers will be able to gradually open back up, Treasure Coast business owners are getting ready to open their doors. WPTV's Ryan Hughes spoke with business owners that are eager to reopen.
Even if it's every other table and half of the outside, we'll take that.
Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart hoping to officially open its doors back up come Monday under the governor's Phase 1 reopening strategy, allowing restaurants to open at 25% capacity with outside dining.
We're great with 25% and that patio's open right now. We still want to be safe just like everybody else does. We would love to see some sort of normalcy.
Owner Mark Muller had to let 2 employees go because of the crisis. The deli has been doing takeout and delivery, but sales have been slashed.
We are completely, almost exactly half of what I was doing 6 weeks ago.
Across town, Bikes Plus has seen sales jump up 30 to 40% with gyms closed. It's considered an essential business, and the owner was even able to hire more employees.
My work laid off a bunch of people, and he picked me up, gave me some hours. I have a daughter due next month, so he really helped me out.
Now, many small retail businesses and restaurants anxiously waiting to see how Martin County responds and if it gives them the green light to reopen.
We're all ready to get back to normal life. But if we rush it, more people are going to be sick, and it's just going to prolong it more.
And county commissioners are set to meet at 9 a.m. Friday morning. I'm told they can be more strict than what the governor announced, but they cannot be more lenient. They are also set to discuss whether the beaches will or will not reopen in Martin County. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Health officials say a Fort Pierce assisted living facility for memory care patients has the largest outbreak of COVID-19 on the Treasure Coast. The Broadmoor ALF in Fort Pierce has 22 confirmed cases, according to the Florida Department of Health. That includes 5 staff members. Clint Sperber, administrator for the Florida Department of Health in St. Lucie County, said his team conducted COVID-19 tests for about 50 people at the facility this week, including residents and staff members. Sperber says someone from the health department is keeping in touch with the facility daily. And on the front door of the facility, a sign says that Broadmoor is taking all reasonable measures to protect the safety of residents, families, and employees. It also says visitations are only for emergencies. All visitors are required to wear masks, have their temperature taken, and have their hands sanitized. We're getting a major sport back in about 2 weeks. NASCAR is starting back up with a cup race on May 17th. Over a 10-day period, they plan to run 7 races at tracks in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Darlington, South Carolina. There won't be any fans, but the races will be broadcast on Fox. Our news time is 6:50. Weather and traffic together are next.
6:51 the time right now in the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And in Martin County right now on I-95 southbound at Canner Highway in Stewart, use some caution. There's a large piece of metal in the second lane from the left. I-95 southbound, this is at Canner Highway. Otherwise, no accidents. There's your latest look at traffic. Nice and cool, 59 in Stewart, 57 in Port St. Lucie. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
It's a cool, crisp morning along the Treasure Coast with temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 50s under mostly clear skies. Temperatures are running close to 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. This afternoon, comfortable with highs in the upper 70s, low humidity, and sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the low 60s. The nice weather continues into the weekend. Highs in the mid-80s, mostly sunny skies with low rain chances, and winds coming in out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Early next week, our temperatures start to warm back up, so by Wednesday, we're in the low 90s.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
6:57, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, and once again, the band played on.
Sounding so good.
They're spot on this morning.
I could enjoy this kind of music all day, I think. Just
Kind of takes me back to my days of doing AM radio. When I first got into the business, I was working at a small AM radio station playing big band music.
You played the big band music,
Yeah, I
really?
played the big band music.
I played the oldies at AM radio before.
Did you really?
Yeah, where we had to, it was very repetitive. We had to spin those old 45 records and once in a while put on the big 70 RPM, the big record.
That's 33 and a third.
33 and a third. Thank
Yeah,
you. The
33
vinyls.
and a third. The
Huge-
vinyl.
Yeah.
45s were the small ones.
Yep.
Those are the ones that you'd use as mini frisbees.
Wasn't there a 70 that moved really, really slow?
So that was 7. The 33 and a third was the slow one. Then you had the 45, which moved a little quicker.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you would find the 78 RPM. That was the size of a 45, but it played at a 78 speed.
I think that's the one I was thinking of.
Right.
That played at that.
Yeah, that would be rotations per minute.
Yeah. Boy, it was just so repetitive when you had to keep queuing up those records all the time from
Right.
side to side, huh?
Now you remember too that the 33 and a third, the LPs as they were called, they had the small little pinhole in the middle
Yeah.
that you would put on your record player, or as we called it, a Victrola back in the day.
I know.
And you would play. Now the 45 RPMs, there was a problem because the 45 RPM had a hole cut out in the middle about the size of a $50. Now, if you were like me, you figured out your own way to get it in the middle of the turntable platter without any device.
Or
because-
having to even look at it.
Right, because some record players or Victrolas, they had the little metal pin that stuck up
Yeah.
in the middle, and you'd set your record down on it, and that's how it would stay centerized. Now, you couldn't obviously do that with a 45 RPM. Therefore, they made these little discs that you would pop in the middle of the 45, and then all of a sudden that big hole became a little tiny hole.
Yeah.
And it stayed centerized. Now, if you didn't have these discs, if you were smart, you would take the 45 RPM, you'd set it down on the platter, you'd make the platter go around a little bit and see if the record would go around evenly. And if it was wobbling back and forth, you'd stop it and
sometimes it would
recentterize it.
Have that little wave going on in
Yeah,
the record.
exactly. And finally, I would get it right, and then
And-
I would be able to play my record.
Then you remember, Evan, too, putting that quarter in
Yeah,
the middle?
definitely so.
The middle part?
Yep, we're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. Here comes the news.
On air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected to the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
.707 on the Get Up and Go Show. Would help if I turn the button on, right, Bonnie?
That's right.
Yeah, there's the button there. There's the switch to turn us on. And the band played on. And they're just very upbeat today.
Yeah. I could just hear like maybe Tony Bennett coming in with a few words of that, like singing a song to that beat. I mean, the beat that started. This one's going a little bit peppy and fast. But
yeah. Tony Bennett does, I think he does I Left My Heart in San Francisco.
I think he does.
Yeah, a couple of others.
And duets. He had that award-winning duets album came out with that about 8 years ago.
Yep. For sure.
Duets with different celebrities.
I love listening to our band.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Uh-huh. Nice and feisty. And
yeah, the Shy Guys. That's what they're called, the Shy Guys.
Yeah.
Nobody ever sees them. They're called the Shy Guys. That's their the name of the band. Anyway, I do believe it's time to do one of our more favorite segments here.
Who's on the radio? Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
It's time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. And we'll start with you, as always, Bonnie.
I guess a happy birthday to anybody who might be celebrating.
Okay. Okay. All right. How about the doctor? The urologist that called us.
I wonder.
The urologist meteorologist who called us. We don't know when his birthday is, but we'll just wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah, because I mean, it'll be coming round when she comes.
Yeah,
and
I can guarantee you his birthday's within the next 364 days.
That's right.
That's a pretty bold prediction.
Taking another trip there around the sun.
Yeah. Caitlin Stacy is 30 years old. That's Kenna on Rain. Jamie Dorman, 38 years old. That's Christian Grey on 50 Shades of Grey.
That was a.
Did you watch that?
I watched that movie.
What'd you think of it?
I didn't.
Is it very adult orientated? I did not watch
I
it.
thought it was ridiculous. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. And then I think I bought the book, or I had the book. I must have borrowed it from someone, and I only read like 2 chapters. And then, you know how my mom, she really loved to read. She was always reading her books.
Right.
So what does my nephew do? But he buys her 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my gosh,
for
your
Mom.
mother?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, don't buy my mom that kind of book.
Wow. Your mom's not that kind of a girl.
No.
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 You might be, but she's not.
In fact, in her senior picture, I always remember the caption underneath her senior picture in her senior yearbook.
What's it say?
Under Barbara, it said, "Sweet and innocent are thy ways."
Okay. All right. Very good.
And then nephew getting her a book like that.
Wow. Shame on him.
Yeah.
Shame on him.
Oh.
Darius McCrary, 44 years old. He was Eddie Winslow on Family Matters. Julie Benz is 48. That's Rita Bennett on Dexter. Wes Anderson, 51 years old today. That's the amazing writer, director of Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Country music artist Tim McGraw, 53 years old today.
Oh, Tim McGraw along with Faith Hill.
Mhm.
Now there's a power couple, right?
Right? I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
Yeah. What country couple do you think is more powerful? Do you think it would be Faith and Tim or Garth and Trisha?
That's a tough one.
It is.
I don't
isn't it?
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
I wish Phil was here because we could
We could ask that magic.
we
8
could ask
ball.
the Magic 8 Ball if he thinks that Tim McGraw
Yeah.
and Faith Hill are more powerful than Garth and Trish.
Hmm.
But I guess we can't.
That's a pretty tough call. I know, like Faith and Tim, they go on tour together. Well, now maybe
Yeah.
Garth and Trisha do now too, don't they? In their viral videos and that.
Exactly. That'll be a question for the 8 Ball when we have Phil back next week with us.
Uh-huh.
So Note to self.
Make note of that.
Note to self. Okay. Note to self. Please do.
Will do.
Ray Parker Jr. is 66 years old today. He's from the Ghostbusters fame.
Mhm.
Dan Florek is 70. That's Captain Kragen on Law and Order SVU. Paul Tutel Sr., 71 years old. That's American Chopper stud. Rita Coolidge. Wow. I remember her and the song Your Love Lifted Me Higher and Higher.
That was a pretty song, wasn't
Right?
it?
It was used in Ghostbusters too, but it wasn't Rita's version though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder who did it.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know, but I
yeah.
do like that song by Rita Coolidge.
Yeah, her voice was so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty in that song. Oh, she also did We're All Alone.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Yep.
Depressing, but it's kind of what you should be playing
Oh.
right now with the virus.
And from the James Bond soundtrack,
Uh-huh.
she sang All Time High.
Oh, yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's another great tune. Today is Couple Appreciation Day, Bonnie. Couple Appreciation Day.
So, like, what couple are you appreciating the most lately,
Well,
maybe, Evan?
The couple I'm appreciating the most is, besides my wife and I'd have to say you and I.
Uh-huh.
And I really mean that
Oh.
because we're a team.
Yeah.
And we've molded very nicely together since January 13th.
Didn't take long.
Didn't take long. We had a couple of bumps,
Yeah.
just one or two.
It's kind of like you're going to do once in a while.
Right. And that happens with any relationship.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got over the bump and we flattened the curve.
Wow.
How's that for an analogy?
I like the sound of flattening the curve.
We flattened the curve.
Just like the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
That curve is, well, it's around the corner.
And now
anyway.
we're just like peanut butter and jelly. we blend together
Yeah.
very well. Kind of like an Oreo cookie in the white filling.
Yeah.
Give me another analogy since we're on this kick.
Well, I would say the pre-made mix of peanut butter and jelly, where
Okay.
it's all in one jar.
Yeah.
And you got the jelly floating down the sides.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Or another one is we're also like vanilla ice cream with chocolate syrup on top.
Oh,
goes together
yeah.
so good.
Peaches and cream.
Oh, peaches and cream is another one.
Yeah. And cookies.
Cookies and cream.
is
yeah,
another.
that's another one.
Mm.
We better stop. We're going to get fat.
Bacon and eggs.
All these calories.
I know.
Right?
We're gaining weight just
Right?
saying
Right.
stuff.
Begs and aching, as they call it. That's what G calls it. Begs and aching.
Yeah. I heard a weird analogy a while ago that if you want to lose some weight, say, and like if you're craving something, if
Uh-huh.
you think you're going to go to the refrigerator and just get that cookies and cream, say, right away.
Okay.
What you should do, I guess, is just sit there and think about the deliciousness of it for a while.
The deliciousness.
It's supposedly supposed to make it better, and then just kind of get yourself in a trance, in like a zone, and feel like you're
Zen.
tasting it and eating it.
Zen.
I don't know. You can try it. Try it to see if the craving goes away for you.
See,
But
my biggest thing and my biggest problem, yes, I'll be the first to admit it. Yes, I've put a considerable amount of weight back on in the last 3 or 4 weeks because we've been locked up.
many
because,
have, Evan. You're not in the
yeah.
boat alone.
And the reason is because you're depressed. You're sitting at home, so you're looking to turn to comfort. Yes, you can turn to your spouse, but you turn to your comfort food. My comfort food is a half a gallon of ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. So my wife said to me the other day, would you like me to order some ice cream on the Walmart app? Because we did another grocery shopping through the Walmart app. And I just turned to her and I'm like, no, I'm done.
Done.
So then what do I do the other night? She buys ice cream for herself.
It's hard.
And what do? I go to the freezer, I open it up, and I scoop out some vanilla ice cream and slap a little chocolate syrup on it.
Yeah, I'm here.
It just didn't go good.
We had a little visitor yesterday. I had my great niece over, and she asked me if I had any cookies, and I said no, but I have coffee ice cream.
Yeah.
This stuff I called it's called cold brew that I bought, and her eyes, her little face puckers like coffee ice cream. I don't know. I said pour some chocolate fudge on it from Hershey's. You want to try? Okay.
Now, have you ever tried
She
that
was loving
hard
it.
shell? That hard shell topping that they make
I love
that you pour on top of the ice cream, and the minute it touches the ice cream, it hardens up like a hard
Hardens.
shell.
Yeah, I think they call it magic shell.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's it.
And
Magic shell. Yes,
That's
you're right.
good.
Yeah, it's really
It's
good.
good.
They make it in chocolate, peanut butter, and all sorts of different versions.
I didn't know it came in peanut butter too.
Yeah,
But
the wife picked it up.
wow, my favorite would be strawberry.
Strawberry's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, strawberry's a good one. Bonnie, you know what's happening in 4 days from now, don't you?
4 days.
Teacher Appreciation Day.
Amazing.
Not
Yeah.
happening, though.
I know.
Not
and
happening.
I think, the teacher friends that I have, Evan,
Mhm.
a lot of them are telling me that they want to get back to school.
Yeah.
They would want to get back and do it in the classroom.
Rachel works for a private school.
Yeah.
So they are doing distance learning. So when she goes into work, she's actually on the computer teaching the kids.
Okay.
Virtually is what she's doing.
Nice.
So there's no kids at the school right now.
Right,
So
right.
she's fortunate enough to do that.
To stay stimulated with it too.
Exactly.
Yes.
And a week from this Sunday, you know what the big day is? A week from this Sunday.
NASCAR, something in NASCAR's.
No.
Oh,
A week from this Sunday.
Mother's Day.
Mother's
must
Day.
be. Yeah.
Mother's Day. Make sure and go to the store, get your cards, get your flowers, get your gifts. If you can afford, go buy that brand new Porsche, Maserati, or Jaguar for your significant other that's a mom to your kids. But make sure and treat mom good.
Yeah.
And hopefully the restaurants will be booming that day with only 25% capacity.
Yeah.
But they'll be booming for Mother's Day. I am not going to take my wife out for Mother's Day. I'm going to be the first to admit it, the last to admit it. I'm sorry. I love you dearly, but I am not taking her out for Mother's Day.
I think
I don't want to. I'm not ready to go back to the restaurants
it's
yet.
probably the most busy day for restaurants
Restaurants.
is Mother's Day, and that probably followed by Valentine's Day, I would guess.
Yes, definitely. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to go anywhere. I just don't want to take any chances.
Yeah.
I'll go to the grocery store and I'll cook. I'll grill her a nice steak.
Yeah.
Because I know she likes steak.
Sometimes
so I'll
that's
grill her
better.
a nice steak.
Yeah.
With a baked potato.
Don't take her to Taco Bell.
No. She actually, speaking of which, that's what we're having for dinner tonight.
Are you?
She bought the tortillas and the
she's
chopped meat.
making them?
Yeah, we're going to make tacos from scratch tonight.
It's
Soft tacos.
funny you say that because that's what I'm going to make tonight too, Evan.
Wow. Okay, so we should have
Yeah.
maybe we could Zoom together and watch each other cook.
I know.
Right? Have a taco off.
Taco Friday.
Something like that. Taco Friday. 53 years ago in 1967, 32-year-old Elvis Presley married 21-year-old Priscilla Ballou at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas. They separated in 71, and Elvis filed for divorce in 73.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing that happened 53 years ago.
I think they might have met. It could have been maybe out of the country too, because I think her dad might have been military, and Elvis was military.
Mhm.
So I think they met when Elvis was out somewhere in the military.
Yeah. 29 years ago, at age 44 in 1991, Nolan Ryan threw his 7th no-hitter, helping his Texas Rangers shut out the Toronto Blue Jays 3-0. That same night in Oakland, Ricky Henderson stole his 939th base to break Lou Brock's all-time record.
939 bases.
939 stolen bases.
Where did he take them?
I don't know. Okay.
But that's pretty impressive. And
Yeah.
Nolan,
I hope he had a big enough 18-wheeler to put all those bases in since he stole them.
the feds come and find them,
Yeah,
hiding
right.
some bases out here.
Yeah, I only stole 939 bases. Wow. 7:21 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And here are the coronavirus cases broken down by county. In Indian River County, 90 confirmed and 7 deaths. In St. Lucie County, 247 coronavirus cases are confirmed with 22 deaths. And the number of confirmed cases for Martin County, 191. There are 6 deaths. The latest numbers from the Department of Health showing 33,690 coronavirus cases in Florida. 1,268 people have died. President Trump is praising Governor Ron DeSantis for the job he's done during the coronavirus pandemic.
He's called every shot right. He knows what he's doing, and yet he hasn't clamped down to a point where nobody can breathe. You know, I mean, he's let people live.
Is Florida ready to reopen? Days away from the first phase of the governor's plan, critics say COVID-19 testing isn't where it should be. They worry Florida doesn't yet have a clear picture of its health. WPTV's Forrest Saunders has more.
On the front lines of COVID-19, drive up and walk up testing sites, some of them seeing 200, 300 or more people each day. That is, as long as supplies last.
Some days you're drinking through a fire hose, and other days it's a drip.
Dr. Temple Robinson runs this site through the Bond Community Health Center. While her staff is doing the best it can, she worries without more testing, COVID-19's true spread remains elusive.
We don't know if we're at the tip of the iceberg or the tip of the iceberg in Leon County.
Her concerns extend across the state. Supplies of testing reagents, swabs, and kits, not where some medical professionals would like them to be.
We cannot get enough testing kits for the need out there.
Florida's Community Health Center Association saying state officials are currently triaging testing supplies and PPE. Healthcare providers in most need coming first, others getting what they can when they can.
We may have to go out and find our own because we have people that are showing up for testing every single day.
Go in a little bit.
Looking at the numbers, Florida is doing well in overall testing, ranked third in the nation. But critics point out the state drops to 22nd for testing per 1,000 people. Average daily results more than 13,000 over the last 2 weeks. Opponents to the state's plan wanting at least twice that.
Good afternoon.
Even so, Governor DeSantis plans to slowly reopen some parts of Florida Monday. The Republican saying a big factor in his decision, not the number of tests, rather the rate of positives, which look to be decreasing.
We've been in the 4.5%, 5%, 6%. Just to put that in perspective, you look at like a New Jersey, I think they're at 40 or 50% of all their tests test positive.
DeSantis has promised to boost total testing numbers regardless, saying he expects about 30 to 40,000 tests daily by next week, though it is unclear if there are enough supplies to meet that number. That's the latest out here. I'll send it back to you.
Martin County Public Schools will hold traditional high school graduation ceremonies in late July. Officials announced this on Thursday. The Martin County School District is committed to doing everything possible to celebrate the most significant senior milestone, graduation, in a way that honors your individual and collective accomplishments, Superintendent Lori Gaylord said in a YouTube video. And lastly, health officials say a Fort Pierce assisted living facility for memory care patients has the largest outbreak of COVID-19 on the Treasure Coast. The Broadmoor ALF in Fort Pierce has 22 confirmed cases, according to the Florida Department of Health. That includes 5 staff members. On the front door of the facility, a sign says that Broadmoor is taking all responsible measures to protect the safety of residents, families, and employees. It also says visitations are only for emergencies. All visitors are required to wear masks, have their temperature taken, and have their hands sanitized. The Little League World Series has been canceled for the first time ever. It's been running since 1947. And the Fortnite World Cup is off. This is the first cancellation in 2-year history of that event. News time is 7:25, and weather and traffic together are next.
7:26 at time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we don't have any accidents to report on our highways, so it's really a quiet morning out on our roadways. Should be good if you're heading out. And there's your latest look at traffic. Nice and cool, too. It's 59 in Stewart. Here's our weekend forecast at WPTV.
It's a cool, crisp morning along the Treasure Coast with temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 50s under mostly clear skies. Temperatures are running close to 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. This afternoon, comfortable with highs in the upper 70s, low humidity, and sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the low 60s. The nice weather continues into the weekend. Highs in the mid-80s, mostly sunny skies with low rain chances, and winds coming in out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Early next week, our temperatures start to warm back up, so by Wednesday, we're in the low 90s.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
$7:30 right now, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. And once again, the band played on right on cue. They are spot on today, Bonnie.
Oh, yeah. So crisp and clean. It's our clean band.
Squeaky clean.
Yes.
We have a call right now. Let's go to the phones right now and see who's on our line. Good morning. You're on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Mike Green. I'm calling from over in Stewart. I just had an idea I wanted to share for your restaurant owners that are getting ready to reopen at 25% capacity.
Sure, Mike. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem. It was just brainstorming. I think that they can probably increase their business if they let their patrons know that they are willing to come out to their car and get them when their table's ready. Because I've noticed in walking around that people have been very willing to sit in their car with their AC running for like up to an hour waiting to get into a doctor's office. And I can't think of how a doctor's visit can compare to a great meal at a great restaurant in our beautiful village.
You know, that's a fantastic idea. I think that's a great idea. In fact, also another thing they can do also is, when they check in at the restaurant, if there's a line, they give their cell phone number and they get a call, and their restaurants have these.
Even better.
I'm sorry?
That's even better, man. That's great.
Yeah. And then also these a lot of these restaurants, they have these square little pagers that you get when you check in and give your name, and they can give also one of those as well. But I love that idea about waiting in the air-conditioned vehicle. There's no social distancing you have to worry about. and you can listen to music while you're in your car. You could tend to your business, and that's a great idea. And I'm actually going to bring that up to Taryn Krizda, who is our Martin County administrator, and have her maybe put out a email blast to some of the local restaurants for that.
I was just thinking that the object here is how do we get the word out to the restaurants so they can kick off with that idea, because then they really won't be at 25% capacity. They'll have the next customer waiting to come in.
That's right.
Exactly. The only 25% capacity is going to be the actual physical bodies in the restaurant, but they could have 150 people waiting out in their cars, waiting to get into their favorite place. Like, for instance, one that comes right down in downtown Stuart, that's a huge restaurant, and at 25% capacity, people can sit right out in their cars. I mean, heck, they could even here's another idea. They could even have like a waiter or a waitress taken like a beverage order. They can bring them a beverage. They can sit in their car with a beverage in a plastic cup. If the law will allow it, they can have a beverage while they're waiting for their phone to ring.
And that would work.
And the restaurant can even comp that beverage if they want to have an additional marketing idea that bring people in.
Yeah,
right.
It would work so well too for a place like the St. Lucie Draft House.
Yeah,
where
that's another great place.
They have huge parking space out in that area. So that would work well there. Do you have a favorite?
They can actually give their customers a choice of waiting for a table or being served in their vehicle. If they want to bring the food out to their vehicles, that's basically takeout.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of going back to the old days of when, kind of like what Sonic does, on they have their waiters and waitresses on roller skates.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can still go to the restaurant.
We're not violating any social distancing. We're only at 25% capacity. We're following the governor's rules. And it's getting the businesses off the ground, which is what they need right now.
Do you have a favorite restaurant you want to go back to on Monday?
Haven't really thought about it, to be honest about it. I'll tell you what, while I've got you on the line, I've got another idea. I've been trying. I actually sent this to our governor and the president as well.
Sure.
I'd like to see a redo on the Holy Weekend that just went by, because I think that getting the businesses that just sold Easter merchandise at 80% off to be able to redo that, the churches would fill up for a weekend. People would get a chance to have that family time that they missed. And I think like August and September is our dead months, holiday-wise, before we get into the late year holidays.
Right.
I'd like to see a redo, and I'd like to see actually give people a Good Friday off if they normally get Good Friday off, and let's not let the coronavirus win. We're going to win this in the long run, man.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you, and I love that idea about we could have like a Passover and an Easter part 2
and Ramadan.
Ramadan, yeah,
on the same weekend, man.
Yeah, I think
why not have a weekend that we set aside to redo that? So we're taking control again.
I love that idea.
I love that idea. That's such a great idea.
That is.
Where were you? Where have you been? And I've been here since January 13th, and you're the first time I've ever heard you call. Where have you been all my life?
Quarantine, bro. Gym's closed. Tennis is down. I've been walking everywhere. That's where when you walk, you think, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
It gives you time to do a lot of thinking, and thank goodness you're doing it, because you're a good one.
What's your name, by the way?
This is Michael Green. I'm a retired educator and business person in Martin County. I've been here since 1980. The Treasure Coast since 1980. Martin County since 85.
Well, Michael, I can't thank you enough for calling. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You really, you kind of put a nice ray of sunshine on a gloomy day, so to speak.
Well, let's get the glasses half full here, man. We know what we're looking at. We just got to look at it the right way.
That's it. That's all we got to do. No more gloom and doom. It's all uphill from here.
Hey, it's all up to us, man. We can look at anything any way we want to. I mean, there's a lot of great people that we can look at out there, like Jim Valvano took a death sentence and turned it into the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research.
Yeah.
There's so many examples like that out there of people who looked at the glasses half full.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for calling, and feel free to give us a call anytime. We're here Monday to Friday from 6 to 9, so feel free to pick up that phone. We love phone calls.
Thank you for your optimism.
Who am I speaking to, by the way? I didn't even ask your name.
No, my name is Evan, and Bonnie is my co-host.
Well, hi, Evan. Hi, Bonnie. It's a pleasure to meet you both. hopefully we can do the next meeting eye to eye. I look forward to it.
Look forward to meeting you one day.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. You both have a lovely day.
You
Take
too.
care and God bless.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
7:36 right now, the Get Up and Go show. Man, I love that phone call.
He's very optimistic.
I like that call, and I like his ideas.
Something that we need.
We're going to have a conversation with Taryn and the sheriff about that
It's showing that coronavirus, like he said, it shouldn't let us. It shouldn't break down our spirit.
No, not at all. We're going to go to India for our first story, where an Indian mother got the shock of a lifetime this week when she sent her son out to get groceries, and he came back with a woman. Okay.
I hope a woman that was helping him buy the groceries.
The woman, he claimed, was his wife. The unnamed woman from Uttar Pradesh, Ghaziabad City, told India's news agency that she had sent her son out to buy groceries, but instead he came back with a strange woman he said was his wife.
Well, he's going to need a pleasant wife to cook the groceries he brings home. I bet she cooks very well.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I bet it surprised the bejesus out of his mom.
Yeah. Go to get a gallon of milk and you come back with a bride.
Like, who is this fresh face?
Yeah, right?
Did you bring some fresh fruit home?
Brand new
no.
gallon of vitamin D.
Brought home a fresh face.
Yes. Let's go to Illinois, where a stripper in Illinois drove to New York City in search of the USNS Comfort. This is a ship. Okay. But wound up getting arrested outside the USS Intrepid for carrying 18 knives in her car. Jessica Prim, whose stage name is Nikita Steele.
It makes
Nikita
sense.
Steele.
She's carrying the steel knives,
Yes.
of course.
Used Facebook to live stream her 1:30 p.m. arrest outside the famed carrier docked at Pier 66. Ship security called police as they spotted Prim, 37, acting erratically inside her car. Note to self, don't get in a car and drive down to the port with 18 knives in your car.
Wow. Here I thought maybe she was going to the port maybe to meet some sailors.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she's why she was sporting all those knives. But with a name like Nikita Steele.
Yeah, Nikita Steele.
why.
That'd be somebody I'd want to date. Hi, this is my girlfriend. Meet Nikita Steele.
Sounds like it would be a good air name, like a radio name.
It's a porn name.
Nikita Steele.
Nikita Steele.
Yeah. Well, now we know it's a porn name.
I hope I didn't offend anybody if your name is Nikita Steele, by the way.
Yeah.
Just wanted to preface that. Let's go to Georgia, where Georgia isn't already testing the safety waters by rushing to reopen. Governor Brian Kemp has temporarily eased driver's license requirements so that new teenage drivers with a permit can obtain a full license without having to take the road test, as long as they fulfill all other requirements, such as 40 hours of supervised driving. While that may make teens nervous about taking their road test happily, we can't speak for the state's other drivers. The owner of a local driving school told a TV station that she hopes most parents won't just sign off on those 40 hours and that they take the time and drive with their kids before they let them get their driver's license.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's so important with that learning process. And
What is the governor thinking?
I'm hoping that those kids aren't allowed to just skip their physical exam, physically of course, driving.
Yeah. What is the governor thinking?
I don't know, but they.
Yeah, let me
it
have your
should be
piece of paper. I'll just sign off that my kid can get their license.
more processes of learning. It
Wow.
is so. And I know I have clients that talk to me about their kids, clients that
Yeah.
come to my table and they say
Your table's like a therapy.
they
You feel like you're a psychologist sometimes.
therapy
Lay down on my table. Tell me what's wrong.
Because I learn, and I learn and I suck it all in from people. But they take the kids, out at I-95
Yeah.
and of course the turnpike and observe their driving before the kids observe their driving and vice versa before they actually get behind the wheel and do it
They
alone.
lay down on your table, and then the organist comes in, and you hear this. And then they open up and spill their guts to you. Oh, Bonnie, I don't know what to do anymore, Bonnie.
No, it's more like Bonnie, fix my shoulder.
Bonnie, I can't throw a baseball anymore. I'm getting too old.
No, it's more like Bonnie, I have this big kink in my neck. Can you fix it? And I'm looking at them like this.
Yeah, right?
No,
Fix them.
It isn't funny. I mean, people get their everyday aches and pains.
I'm
and,
sure.
We massage therapists. We know how to work them out.
What's the strangest story you've ever heard while somebody's on your table? Don't mention names.
Yeah.
Is there anything that stood out? Anything weird?
Yeah.
Does
maybe.
it creep you out? It's gotta be, because you're laughing. It has to be.
Yeah. There's, generally
Don't tell me if it's a male or a female.
I tell you off air because, like, if the story is too out there, there could be a fear of me losing my licensing,
Okay.
and how far you want to go with you. You're not supposed to always concur.
All right, so let me put it to you this way then.
Yeah.
What about, because you have private clients too,
Yeah.
besides working at the massage establishment.
Yeah.
So let's say private client. This way you're not affiliating it with the establishment.
Yeah.
You've had to hear something out there that's way out there when you've gone to somebody's house.
I guess it's clean enough. It's clean enough, and I'm not mentioning names, so
right, and
it's
you're not
okay.
mentioning if they're male or female. So XYZ, we'll just call them John Doe.
So they and John Doe will say, and
Yes.
had a big set of curly hair, nice big
I
fluffy.
wonder where you were going
nice
there.
big fluffy hair, and
Okay.
said that he had a massage in Thailand.
Okay.
It was so good where the girl just pulled his hair.
What?
His hair. So
Really?
he or she said, Bonnie, just grab it.
Really?
Just go ahead and
Wait a
pull
minute.
and grab it.
So wait a minute. So this person, said person on your massage table, said that they went to Thailand, got a massage, and that the massage therapist in Thailand grabbed their hair and yanked on
Pulled
it
their
so
hair.
hard. They like that.
Yeah.
So your client said to you, Bonnie, pull my hair. Wow.
I think that's the most, which is clean enough. So it's clean.
Okay, that's all right.
But that's like one of the funniest, maybe more unusual things that I've had. And
Pull my hair.
Nobody's ever been nobody has ever gone across the line and been dirty with me.
Okay, good. I would
I'm
hope
one
not,
of-
because I'd come and whoop their butt. They'd have to deal with me, and then they got to deal with Gary, and then both of us at the same time.
But yeah, that's kind of like a silly one that's always going to be
Pull
etched
my
in
hair.
my memory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they didn't ask you to dress up when you did that. Wow. Then
Yeah.
it kind of crosses and goes into a whole nother level
You
of
can
stuff.
cross a fine line.
Yeah. Wow. Hair pulling while massaged. Oh boy.
And some
I'm-
people don't have any hair to pull.
Yeah,
so I
like
don't know what
me.
you do then.
Right. What do? Grab their eyebrows and pull back. Anyway, 6:45 right now. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Bonnie?
And the latest numbers from the Department of Health show 33,690 coronavirus cases in Florida. 1,268 people have died. President Trump is praising Governor Ron DeSantis for the job he's done during the coronavirus pandemic.
He's called every shot right. He knows what he's doing, and yet he hasn't clamped down to a point where nobody can breathe. He's let people live.
Speaking to the Florida News Network, Trump said the economy will recover and predicted the fourth quarter will be, quote, fantastic. Among those most vulnerable to the coronavirus, TSA workers.
It's not a choice. It's mandatory that they interact closely and daily with passengers, increasing the likelihood of being exposed to COVID-19.
And with the announcement Wednesday that some Florida restaurants and retailers will be able to gradually open back up, Treasure Coast business owners are getting ready to open their doors. WPTV's Ryan Hughes spoke with business owners that are eager to reopen.
Even if it's every other table and half of the outside, we'll take that.
Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart hoping to officially open its doors back up come Monday under the governor's phase 1 reopening strategy, allowing restaurants to open at 25% capacity with outside dining.
We're great with 25% and that patio's open right now. We still want to be safe just like everybody else does. We would love to see some sort of normalcy.
Owner Mark Muller had to let 2 employees go because of the crisis. The deli has been doing takeout and delivery, but sales have been slashed.
We are completely, like almost exactly half of what I was doing 6 weeks ago.
Across town, Bikes Plus has seen sales jump up 30 to 40% with gyms closed. It's considered an essential business, and the owner was even able to hire more employees.
My work laid off a bunch of people, and yeah, he picked me up, gave me some hours. I have a daughter due next month, so yeah, he really helped me out.
Now, many small retail businesses and restaurants anxiously waiting to see how Martin County and if it gives them the green light to reopen.
We're all ready to get back to normal life. But if we rush it, more people are going to be sick, and it's just prolong it more.
And county commissioners are set to meet at 9 a.m. Friday morning. I'm told they can be more strict than what the governor announced, but they cannot be more lenient. They are also set to discuss whether the beaches will or will not reopen in Martin County. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
And lastly, Martin County Public Schools will hold traditional high school graduation ceremonies in late July. Officials announced this on Thursday. The Martin County School District is committed to doing everything possible to celebrate the most significant senior milestone, graduation. And in a way that honors your individual and collective accomplishments. That according to Superintendent Lori Gaylord, saying this in a YouTube video. LeBron James is hosting a 1-hour special on May 16th. It's called Graduate Together, America Honors the High School Class of 2020, to air on several TV channels and social media. News time is 7:49. Weather and traffic together will be next.
$7:50 right now, the time to get up and go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And we take a look at the roadways right here on the Turnpike southbound going down toward Jupiter at mile marker 116. Look out. There's a washing machine in the middle of the road. And once again, this is southbound at mile marker 116 Jupiter. Use caution. There's your latest look at traffic. Stewart, we have 59 degrees. Here's our weekend update at WPTV.
It's a cool, crisp morning along the Treasure Coast with temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 50s under mostly clear skies. Temperatures are running close to 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. This afternoon, comfortable with highs in the upper 70s, low humidity, and sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the low 60s. The nice weather continues into the weekend. Highs in the mid-80s, mostly sunny skies with low rain chances, and winds coming in out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Early next week, our temperatures start to warm back up, so by Wednesday, we're in the low 90s.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
$7:58 the time to Get Up and Go Show. And Bonnie, coming up next hour, Mitch Chlorothane's going to be here.
Oh, yes.
You know who that is, right?
The leader, one of our fine leaders of the Boys and Girls Club
Yeah,
of
he's the director of marketing.
St. Lucie County.
Yeah, we're going to get an update on what's going on with the Boys and Girls Club. And he's got a lot of exciting news to bring to our listeners about things that are happening up in St. Lucie County at their Boys and Girls Clubs.
And they're always so busy. I know a lot to do with all of the clubhouses now that, have sort of been out of service. So he's going to fill us in on what they're doing and providing.
Yeah, definitely. Doing a good deed for the community, so to speak.
Yes.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to let the band take us all the way into the news, since I'm really digging this vibe right now. So we'll let everybody know that we're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. Don't go anywhere and enjoy the Get Up and Go Show band. What's their name again? I forgot.
The Invisible Band,
Yeah,
right?
the invisible guys or something of that sort.
The guys.
The Shy Guys.
They're
it.
shy.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
Shy Guys. That's right. That's right. It's the Shy Guy band. All right, we'll let them play on. Take it away, boys.
On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
Time to fire the band up in the 8 o'clock hour, 8:07 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. And Bonnie, we have a very special guest joining us right now on our virtual Zoom, as they say. Mitch Chlorophane joins us now. He's the Director of Marketing for the Boys and Girls Clubs for St. Lucie County. Mitch, good morning to you. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning to you. I wish I was sitting in one of those chairs next to that tube of Lysol you have there.
Yeah, right. You like that, don't you? Hey, we have to keep things clean around here, you know, and through the magic of a virtualness, you're sitting here right with us right now.
I love that. I'm watching you, seeing you. It's good to see you, Bonnie, too.
Nice to see you, Mitch, and we loved having you in the studio last time you were here.
Yeah, we miss having you down here with us, Mitch.
That was fun. I like the studio atmosphere. Talking is fun for me.
It's a good thing. So, hey, you've got some exciting things that are happening up in Port St. Lucie at the Boys and Girls Clubs in St. Lucie County. But before we hop into that, I know that last time you were here, you guys were passing out meals. How did all that go? Tell me a little bit about all that.
You know, I wish I had the exact number of what we gave out, you know, through partnerships with Treasure Coast Food Bank and the schools that were also making meals, and all the private restaurants that were helping out that were a big part of it too. But I'd have to guess that there were over 50,000-60,000 meals given out to people that were able to come through our clubs like a drive-through at a bank and have not just dinner for themselves, but if they had a family of 7, they all got fed.
Wow.
And you had like multiple locations going on too, didn't you, Mitch, where people were handing out the food?
Every one of our clubhouses was a spot, and all of our staff members got switched over from whatever their job description on their business card was to something completely different during all of this.
They became utility players, kind of like a baseball team, right?
It was. Everybody was a short inning relief pitcher coming in, stepping out, letting the next person come in. It was a good baseball analogy. We need those right now.
Yeah, definitely so.
About how many kids in St. Lucie County do you have attended your clubhouses in the past? Do you have a number of kids involved?
Our club members are about 4,600.
Wow.
So that's a lot of kids that were not getting that one-on-one FaceTime every week while this shutdown happened, you know, because we have 15 clubs in the schools in the county, so we have 20 clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why it's nice to come on here today and say, can I do it? Because you're like the first ones, because you have the benefit of the morning show, so nobody else has the information I'm about to share here with you. We're back. We're opening. We're here. We're doing it again.
I love it.
Face to face.
I love it. And Monday's going to be a great day. Now let's go forward and tell our listeners, how is everything going to be handled for the kids at all the Boys and Girls Clubs locations? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we're going up another week. It's not going to be this coming Monday.
Okay.
So we're starting on May 11th.
Okay, so you're going to wait another week.
That gives us time.
Okay.
Yeah, that gives us time to prep, because our club is the Mid-Florida Event Center, the former Port St. Lucie Civic Center. We now have the entire building. So all those times you've gone to the Emerald Room in a tuxedo, to, you know,
to do weddings. Yes.
To do weddings, to do any of those events. Now, those huge rooms are going to be subdivided into 20 different activity rooms to keep social distancing and proper CDC rules followed. And so all of those big rooms are now going to be ours for about 13 weeks.
Ooh.
Wow, that's amazing.
Where is this venue?
I can't wait to see it.
Where's
it's
that
the
at?
old it's the old Civic Center.
Oh,
they renamed it the Mid-Florida Credit Union Center, I think, right,
that's
Mitch?
right.
Mid-Florida Event Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is huge. Huge over there.
So we're going to have the not the side of the room that has Parks and Rec with the basketball court and the other stuff, but we'll have the hoity-toity rooms and the art gallery where I've had some of my own stuff exhibited.
Mm-hmm.
The art gallery is going to be a big game room.
Wow.
So they'll have, foosball and carpet ball and ping pong will all be set up in there. So this is going to be a big club. And wait, hold on. You ready for this?
Hold on. Wait. We have to do this. We have to do this right. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, you got something?
Yeah. Got a drum roll here. All right. Go ahead, Mitch.
Who would not want to send their kids there for only $25 a week?
Ooh.
A week.
Wow.
Ta-da!
Wow.
Wow. Very affordable. Most affordable. Yes.
$25 a week.
25 a week.
You
Send your
can't
kids
pay a babysitter that kind of money.
Lunch and breakfast included, and we have certified teachers, we have trained professionals. They can get homework help for their online homework.
Wow.
Wow. Things are just getting better and better over there.
So
and
now
we're gonna feed them because we don't want those. We don't want cranky, unfed kids. So we're breakfast and lunch every day.
Wow. That's really amazing. So for $25 a week, a parent can now drop their kid off, know that their kid is safe, their child is safe, and then they can go to work and not have to worry about, their child being looked after.
And more than just work, 7:30 in the morning until 6 p.m. So that's a big gap that should be able to cover everybody.
Wow, that is
that
huge.
has regular hours. Now it is $25 a week because of some grants and partnerships that we've had from organizations that are helping out. After the first 6 weeks, it does go to $75 a week. But still, $75 a week to have your kid watch so you can go work and take care of your work life and earn a paycheck.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good.
It's well worth it.
Mitch, what are the ages? What are the ages of the kids that you're allowing there?
School. If you go to school, you're qualified.
So kindergarten through senior.
Yep. Through seniors. We want the seniors too. So come on down and they can even help out with the kids and do some mentoring. But we can get them in line as well and give them some amazing projects. Can I tell you what some of the team themes are?
No, I'd love to hear it.
So our programming department came up with some. These aren't the themes that we were using in the clubs before. It's a whole new world order now. We've got the a money challenge where teams are going to come together to find ways to fundraise and make donations to other charities outside Boys and Girls Club that are affected by COVID-19 as a way to give back. So we're teaching our teams how to give back.
That is that's giving them some really good life skills then, Mitch.
We're counting on it.
Yeah. What a wonderful way.
There'll be some cooking contests. They'll be learning to cook some meals.
Oh, I love it.
But we've set it up for some COVID type themes too. So, what to do in this new world order.
Now, let me ask you a question, because you said you're going to have, accredited teachers there to help the kids with their learning. Do you have a shortage of teachers, or you have plenty of teachers?
You know what? I'm going to say that has not come back to me yet. I'm not sure 100% about our staffing, but 772-460-9918 gets them all the answers to whatever I can't cover here.
All right. Because I'm sure there's people that are listening out there that are teachers that are on furlough right now or not working, that may be looking to pick up a couple of extra bucks or help out some kids. And, it's a great way to do it. Right, Mitch?
Absolutely. And again, people are craving that FaceTime, and I'm happy that we're getting back to that again in stages, done properly, but that we've partnered with the city and the Mid-Florida Event Center people to be able to take over this part of the club, because they won't be having any events there. Is just win-win for everybody.
And what's fun about that Mid-Florida Event Center too is what I love in the summertime is the fountains that are right out front, and the kids love running through those water sprinklers out there.
Kids, nothing. I love doing it.
Now, let me ask you, Mitch, a question. Are the kids going to be allowed to go outside and participate in outdoor activities out front of the center, such as things like maybe wiffle ball, kickball, cornhole, anything like that? Is that going to be permitted, or are they going to be strictly only allowed to stay inside?
No, as I know it, there'll be some outdoor activities as well. We can't. God, they've been inside for so long already. We have
I
to
know.
let them get out and get a little vitamins from the sun. So I'm sure there'll be some outdoor activities as well.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about guidelines that you guys are following before the kids actually come on site and on property. Tell us about what you guys are doing before any child is admitted in.
Well, there will be thermometer readings for anybody coming in. So you have to have, I believe it was a 99.4 or under to get in.
Okay.
And parents will not be allowed in. So they will be checking them in at a special tent station we have right by the front entrance, so we can limit the amount of people coming in without having to check, twice as many parents as we have kids coming in.
Gotcha.
After every single activity, there is a major wipe down of stations and countertops and other things, just to, keep things clean, keep things sterile as much as we can. But they're kids. They're gonna end up. They're gonna play with a basketball. Each one's gonna touch it, but then it's gonna get wiped down afterwards.
Now, talk to me about your staff. Are they going to be masked up? Is that mandatory? That's optional, depending on the staff member. Talk to me about that.
I don't think masks are going to be a mandatory thing. I know that's one of the things we're still working out for what's required this week. But, if everybody's coming in and doesn't have a fever and isn't showing any kind of symptoms, probably shouldn't be a need.
And this goes for the employees as well. Everybody's going to have their temperature checked at the door. They're going to go through a series of basic questions as far as, have you been sick? Has anybody in your household been sick? Et cetera, so on and so forth, before anybody is admitted inside the center, correct?
Yeah, not quite as extensive as one of those questionnaires you do when you go give a pint of blood.
Right.
But yes, it will be. So, if you're over that temperature rate, you just bought yourself a day off.
Wow. That's incredible, Bonnie,
That's
isn't it?
just amazing things what you're doing. And next, Mitch is going to tell us that they're putting in a swimming pool over there.
Yeah, right?
Right. So I was talking to my friends at A&G Concrete Pools about what we can do to get a rooftop pool, because I don't see anybody using the top deck of that parking garage.
That's
How cool would that for them to put a pool up there? So
Right, or-
if you're listening.
Or even Mitch, what can be done? Maybe you get some a listener that might want to go out and buy one of those. I think they're made by Intex, if I'm not mistaken. One of those pools that are put up in people's backyards. They're pretty good size, and they're chlorinated. I mean, who knows? The sky's the limit, right?
Are you kidding? I came home while I was out working, because I was still working during all this. My beautiful wife, Linda, I came home, there was a pool in the backyard. It was that same one you're talking about.
Wow, there you go. Go figure.
Yeah.
All right, Mitch. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. It's a great update for the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County. Best of luck to you guys. Anytime you have news, you can always call me. I will never say no to you, because what you guys are doing for the kids and the families and stuff like that, I love getting the word out, Mitch. So I'm always going to be here for you.
Well, I hope when we can have special guests in, that maybe you guys can come in and do a little talk on public speaking or something to get them to get out of their shell one day.
I have got
both great
so
speakers.
much that I could come in and talk about with the many versatile things that I do, from being the announcer for the Mets, my professional wrestling career, for when I used to work with the WWE. Yeah, exactly. When I used to do WWE ring announcing. So, I mean, once this kind of blows over and we have a little more time on a personal level, I would love to come in and talk to the kids, because I know the kids are going to have questions. Topic that's really going to hit home is when we talk about professional wrestling, not so much as baseball. Yeah, I love what I do with the Mets, but when we start talking about professional wrestling and things like John Cena and the other guy
about that.
Yeah, they're gonna want to know. I'll even, what I'll do, Mitch, I've got a lot of memorabilia stuff in my house. I've got real title belts that I can bring in with me that we can pass around. The kids can hold them, they can touch them, they can take a picture with the title belts. I've got autographed title belts. I'll be more than happy to do that on a personal basis for the kids.
They can have a picture buy a poster of John Cena too, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they buy a
that would be
poster.
awesome.
I don't have posters to sell, but I'm not going to make any money off of this. I just want to do this just to do this for the kids. And Mitch knows how I am when it comes to kids. I'm a big kid myself, so I definitely want to do that.
So I'm sure your bedroom has John Cena posters on the wall.
Well, not the bedroom, but the living room. The living room is pretty plastered with wrestling memorabilia up on the walls. Definitely.
Funny
So,
stuff. Good stuff.
hey, Mitch, thank you
if
so
anybody's
much.
interested, if you would, let me just quickly say our website is bgcofslc.org. Our phone numbers are on there. Our contacts are on there. And that's the best way to get your kid in. Let's get back to the clubs. Let's get back to having activities and back to the way we were.
Yeah, amen. And keep up the great work, Mitch.
Yeah, keep it up, Mitch. Great
you
job,
too,
buddy.
Bonnie. Thank you.
Great job. Great job, Mitch. We miss you. I miss seeing you and your long lenses around the stadium, but that's going to come back soon, hopefully, also as well.
Coming back.
All right, buddy. Take care, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye now. 8:23 right now, just a tad bit behind on news, but that's okay because that's what we do. We'd rather bring the local news to the people and tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
So speaking of news, Bonnie's at the news desk.
And the latest numbers from the Department of Health shows 33,690 coronavirus cases in Florida. 1,268 people have died. President Trump is praising Governor Ron DeSantis for the job he's done during the coronavirus pandemic.
He's called every shot right. He knows what he's doing, and yet he hasn't clamped down to a point where nobody can breathe. He's let people live.
Is Florida ready to reopen? Days away from the first phase of the governor's plan, critics say COVID-19 testing isn't where it should be. They worry Florida doesn't yet have a clear picture of its health. WPTV's Forrest Saunders has more.
On the front lines of COVID-19, drive up and walk up testing sites, some of them seeing 200, 300 or more people each day. That is as long as supplies last.
Some days you're drinking through a fire hose and other days it's a drip.
Dr. Temple Robinson runs this side through the Bond Community Health Center. While her staff is doing the best it can, she worries without more testing, COVID-19's true spread remains elusive.
We don't know if we're at the tip of the iceberg or the tip of the iceberg in Leon County.
Her concerns extend across the state. Supplies of testing reagents, swabs, and kits, not where some medical professionals would like them to be.
We cannot get enough testing kits for the need out there.
Florida's Community Health Center Association saying state officials are currently triaging testing supplies and PPE. Healthcare providers in most need coming first, others getting what they can when they can.
We may have to go out and find our own because we have people that are showing up for testing every single day.
We'll go in a little bit.
Looking at the numbers, Florida is doing well in overall testing, ranked third in the nation. But critics point out the state drops to 22nd for testing per 1,000 people. Average daily results more than 13,000 over the last 2 weeks. Opponents to the state's plan wanting at least twice that.
Good afternoon.
Even so, Governor DeSantis plans to slowly reopen some parts of Florida Monday. The Republican saying a big factor in his decision, not the number of tests, rather the rate of positives, which look to be decreasing.
We've been in the 4.5%, 5%, 6%. Just to put that in perspective, you look at like a New Jersey, I think they're at 40 or 50% of all their tests test positive.
DeSantis has promised to boost total testing numbers regardless, saying he expects about 30 to 40,000 tests daily by next week, though it is unclear if there are enough supplies to meet that number. That's the latest out here. I'll send it back to you.
And lastly, SpaceX is one of 3 companies chosen to design NASA's next lunar lander. CEO Elon Musk is excited for the opportunity to send another man and the first woman to the moon in 2024.
I think we've got potential for an incredibly exciting future in space with a base on the moon and ultimately sending people and having a self-sustaining city on Mars.
If the NBA does resume its season down the line, a method of doing so being widely discussed is the use of a so-called bubble city, and the NBA is considering using Disney World as the venue to resume the season. A number of possible locations in the past have made the rounds, including Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and the Bahamas. News time is 8:27. News, weather, and traffic together are next.
$8:28 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, we don't find any accidents this morning out on our highways. Looking good as you're heading out. We're not seeing any traffic slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. A sunny sky in Palm City. We're up to 64. It's 60 in Port St. Lucie. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
The cool, crisp morning along the Treasure Coast with temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 50s under mostly clear skies. Temperatures are running close to 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. This afternoon, comfortable with highs in the upper 70s, low humidity, and sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the low 60s. The nice weather continues into the weekend. Highs in the mid-80s, mostly sunny skies with low rain chances, and winds coming in out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Early next week, our temperatures start to warm back up, so by Wednesday, we're in the low 90s.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
8:32 the time right now on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time to head out to outer space and another place where Randy Siegel's standing by with the latest and greatest news on what's happening in another world. Randy?
I have been in another world, yes, before the coronavirus. Well, on this day in history, 1949, the Nereid Neptune 2 is the largest moon of Neptune that was discovered by Gerald Kuiper on this date in history. And then it was photographed by Voyager 2 back in 1989, where they were able to actually see this moon in orbit. And on Sunday, 2003, that was the time that the last crew arrived or came home from the International Space Station in a Soyuz spacecraft. They were launched on the Soyuz. Ken Bowersox from NASA, Nikolai Budarin from Russia, and Don Pettit. And these are the crew that spent some time on board the space station. What was interesting, unfortunately, is that they went up on what was supposed to be a relatively short mission and ended up staying much longer. The reason for that was because of the Columbia disaster that took place on February the 1st of 2003. And they suspended shuttle launches to the station. So as a result, the crew had to remain up there for a much longer time than they originally had intended before the next crew arrived on the space station. Speaking about arrival on the space station, the crew that is up there now is still doing great science work on the station. The Astro B, which is a robotic investigation that explores the ability of a trio of cube-shaped free-flying robots to assist astronauts aboard the station, was brought out. Chris Cassidy set up one of the autonomous robotic assistants in the afternoon for a test of its mobility and vision system. Astro B could perform routine lab chores, giving astronauts more time to conduct critical space research. Cassidy also finalized the cleaning of a mouse habitat that housed rodents monitored for changes to their genetic expression due to microgravity. The mice have since been returned to Earth aboard the last SpaceX Dragon cargo mission on April the 7th. Cosmonauts Anatoly Ivanushin and Ivan Wagner continue a long-running Russian heart study. They utilize the lower body negative pressure suit. This investigation examines how the heart behaves as the specialized spacesuit prevents blood from pooling in the crew members' heads, reducing head and eye pressure as they draw the body's fluids down to their feet. The Russians then spent the afternoon transferring cargo to and from Progress 74 and 75. Ivanushin packed trash and old gear in the 74, which is due to complete its mission in July, and Wagner unloaded new gear and supplies from 75, which just arrived on April 25th. The astronauts also had time to put into orbit from the Kibo module a CubeSat. It was the first CubeSat for Guatemala. So now Guatemala has their first satellite in orbit. NASA announced yesterday that they are going to go back to the moon, and they have commissioned 3 companies to design and build human landing systems. Blue Origin, Dianetics, and SpaceX. They've all been charged by NASA. With the contract awards, America is moving forward with its final steps needed to land astronauts on the moon by 2024 and stay. Well, today we're going to hear at a press conference from the 2 American astronauts who should be going into space on the 27th of this month. The 2 astronauts, Robert Behnken and Doug Hurley, will be meeting with the press, along with Jim Bridenstine, NASA's administrator, in a teleconference. This will allow NASA to finally get back into human flight from American soil. The Japanese MIO space probe, en route to Mercury to study its origin and evolution, took advantage of Earth's gravity by swinging by and taking a farewell picture from home. MIO had to drastically change its flight path by coming within 41,338,000 miles of the Earth, about the same length as that of the planet's diameter. MIO is going to also need 2 more similar maneuvers around Venus and 6 around Mercury before it eventually gets into orbit around Mercury. It should be very interesting for that flight. The Chinese have announced that their rover Yodo 2, or Jade Rabbit 2, has driven 1,467.77 feet on the far side of the moon. And it is healthy and is giving them good data. The spacecraft works for 2 weeks, and then it has to hibernate for 2 weeks as the sun goes down on the backside of the moon. So China continues to be a big player. The Air Force is getting ready to launch its X-37B secret space shuttle. This spacecraft, coincidentally, is going to be launched by an Atlas V rocket. And the Atlas V rocket is powered by Russian engines, the RD-180. So it's kind of interesting that we're going to be spying on Earth and Russia, but using the Russian engines to do so. The COVID virus has attacked the Russian Space Agency. As a result of that, they had to cut down on a lot of the people that are monitoring the astronauts from mission control. Most of the people are now working from home, and they're taking advantage of that in order to take care of the watch on the satellites. Ariane Space announced that they're going to reopen sometime in the latter part of May their Kourou facility in French Guiana. They will prepare satellites to be launched, even though there is still the coronavirus around, but they are taking a lot of precautions before they do anything that could contaminate either the payloads or the vehicle itself. The European Space Agency has announced that astronaut Thomas Pasqua will be flying to the International Space Station in 2021, and he'll begin his training shortly in Houston. Currently, he is completing training at the European Training Center in Cologne, Germany. 6 scientists have become the victims of this virus in the Russian rocket industry, and it is slowing down the production of their Soyuz launch vehicles, something that is very, very disheartening. But NASA has developed a ventilator authorized by the FDA for emergency use. A new high-pressure ventilator developed by NASA engineers and tailored to treat the coronavirus was approved by the FDA for use under the FDA's March 24th ventilator emergency use authorization. Also, Virgin Galactic, in an agreement, has also produced a ventilator that will be used to help in these emergency conditions. So you can see that the brightest and the best between NASA and other companies in the United States are all engaging in ways that will help protect people here on Earth, not just in space. SpaceX has developed a new sunshade to make their Starlink satellites less visible from Earth. NASA and many people on Earth have criticized SpaceX for launching their spacecrafts and having them reflect back on Earth. Well, now they're saying we can launch them, but you won't see them as far as reflection goes. On Monday, we'll tell you about Rocket Lab and whatever else develops over the weekend. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
That's your daily dose of space in another place with the one and only Randy Siegel. Brings us all that kind of a news from NASA. Lets us know what's going on in space. And from space to another place, we make our way over to Ellie's Downtown Deli as they're making their preparations to reopen back on Monday, where Bonnie is going to be going back to the front porch again, right, Bonnie?
Yeah, Evan, it's true. Chef Mark and Ellie's Deli, very exciting to reopen those doors for you on Monday. Of course, as we go through phase one of what's happening here in Florida with our reopening, and they'll be at 25% capacity. And, you know, today you can still make your order. Hungry for some lunch? They have it. Get the chicken bacon ranch wrap, also an Italian chef salad for lunch, and delight in dessert with some double fudge chocolate chip brownies or some creamy peanut butter pie today. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart is open with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's is also making dinners with a full menu available for any number of guests you may have. Remember, they also have their fabulous desserts as well, like we mentioned. Give them a call at 772-781-6605 to order or pick up. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street in downtown Stewart. They're just off Colorado. Call them at 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,681.30 an ounce. Silver opening up at $14.87. 8:45 news time right now. The Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Let's go over to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The latest numbers from the Department of Health show 33,690 coronavirus cases in Florida. 1,268 people have died. President Trump is praising Governor Ron DeSantis for the job he's done during the coronavirus pandemic.
Every shot right. He knows what he's doing, and yet he hasn't clamped down to a point where nobody can breathe. You know, I mean, he's let people live.
Speaking to the Florida News Network, Trump said the economy will recover and predicted the fourth quarter will be, quote, fantastic. Among those most vulnerable to the coronavirus, TSA workers.
It's not a choice. It's mandatory that they interact closely and daily with passengers, thereby increasing the likelihood of being exposed to COVID-19.
With the announcement Wednesday that some Florida restaurants and retailers will be able to gradually open back up, Treasure Coast business owners are getting ready to open their doors. WPTV's Ryan Hughes spoke with business owners that are eager to reopen.
Even if it's every other table and half of that outside, we'll take that.
Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart hoping to officially open its doors back up come Monday under the governor's phase one reopening strategy, allowing restaurants to open at 25% capacity with outside dining.
We're great with 25% and that patio's open right now. We still want to be safe just like everybody else does. We would love to see some sort of normalcy.
Owner Mark Muller had to let 2 employees go because of the crisis. The deli has been doing takeout and delivery, but sales have been slashed.
We are completely, like almost exactly half of what I was doing 6 weeks ago.
Across town, Bikes Plus has seen sales jump up 30 to 40% with gyms closed. It's considered an essential business, and the owner was even able to hire more employees.
My work laid off a bunch of people, and yeah, he picked me up, gave me some hours. I have a daughter due next month, so yeah, he really helped me out.
Now, many small retail businesses and restaurants anxiously waiting to see how Martin County responds and if it gives them the green light to reopen.
We're all ready to get back to normal life. But if we rush it, more people are going to be sick, and it's just going to prolong it more.
And county commissioners are set to meet at 9 a.m. Friday morning. I'm told they can be more strict than what the governor announced, but they cannot be more lenient. They are also set to discuss whether the beaches will or will not reopen in Martin County. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
We're getting a major sport back in about 2 weeks. NASCAR is starting back up with a cup race on May 17th. Over a 10-day period, they plan to run 7 races at tracks in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Darlington, South Carolina. And there won't be any fans, but the races will be broadcast on Fox. Our news time, 8:48, and weather and traffic together coming up.
$8:50 the time right now. The Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And it's a good traffic report, Evan. The highways are fine. Major highways, US 1 included, looking good this morning. There's your latest look at traffic. Good looking sunshine, too, at 65 here in Stewart. Here's our weekend update at WPTV.
The cool, crisp morning along the Treasure Coast with temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 50s under mostly clear skies. Temperatures are running close to 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. This afternoon, comfortable with highs in the upper 70s, low humidity, and sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the low 60s. The nice weather continues into the weekend. Highs in the mid-80s, mostly sunny skies with low rain chances, and winds coming in out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Early next week, our temperatures start to warm back up, so by Wednesday, we're in the low 90s.
The Get Up and Go Show would love to hear from you live on the air. Give us a call at any time. Now let's get back to the program. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
$8:53 right now, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie, and it's been an eventful morning, hasn't it?
Most eventful with Mitch Chlorfane even joining us.
Yeah, very, very eventful. Loved hearing all the great news that's going on at the Boys and Girls Club. You know, with Mother's Day coming around, I have a list of the top flower delivery services for Mother's Day. Thought I'd share that with our listeners.
Oh, should be very vital, and people probably want to know.
Yeah, topping the list at number 10, Amazon. Amazon.com.
I didn't even know.
Ranks at number 10.
Of course, you can order flowers through Amazon. You can order anything.
You can order anything.
But the first thing I think of is something like FTD Floral or something like that.
We'll get there in a moment.
Oh, right.
Okay, number 10 is flowers from Amazon. At number 9, florists.com.
Mhm.
Florist.com.
FLOURISTS.
No, that's flower. Florist is FLOR, not FL.
It is? Oh, there's no U in there?
there's no U.
Thank
no.
you for
That's
correcting me.
flower. Okay.
Usually I'm a pretty good speller.
No, that's okay. Number 8, Bouqs, BOUQS, Bouqs.com, short for bouquets.
Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah. Coming in at number 7, thesill.com, thesill, SILL.com.
Haven't heard of that one either.
Number 6 is Urban Stems, urbanstems.com.
Send them to your favorite urban cowboy.
Yes, definitely. Number 5, proflowers.com, proflowers.com.
Now
another
that one
service.
I always see when I go on the websites
Okay.
to look. I see the Pro Flowers one. Yes.
Here's a cool one, Bloomsy Box. Bloomsybox.com is a website you can go to order flowers.
Okay.
Coming in at number 3 is the one that you said, FTD, FTD.com. That's ranking pretty up there.
Yep.
Coming in at number 2 is From You Flowers, FromYouFlowers.com.
I think I've seen that one before while searching too.
Yep, From You Flowers. And coming in at number 1, it's pretty simple, 1-800-Flowers.
Oh, is that simple, huh?
That's the number 1.
1-800-Flowers. And
1-800-Flowers.
I always have to, whenever I'm sending flowers, like when I, used to do it to my mom, or if I'm sending a friend flowers for his or her birthday, I like to look and see what I'm sending.
Right.
Even though many times I like to go right into the flower shop.
Oh, wow.
Evan.
Okay. Very, very
Yeah.
cool. Bonnie, did you know that we spend about 18 minutes a day thinking about going on vacation? 18 minutes a day. It's funny because this morning I was thinking about that in the 6 a.m. hour.
Were you?
Going on vacation. But I've been on vacation for like 6 weeks now, cooped up in my house.
Now, where were you traveling when you were going in that 6 o'clock hour?
Cancun, Mexico.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yes.
I-
Yes.
I was just
And Puerto Rico.
It was sweet. I was just telling Gary yesterday that I'm considering like driving up to the area where I was born and raised.
Where's Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Okay.
I'm
That's a bit of a drive though, isn't it?
Now I'm thinking of taking a little more time off here, maybe like instead of 5 days, like maybe
Okay.
7 or 8 days. It's just
Okay.
a thought.
Just give me enough notice so I can get co-hosts
I'm
lined up.
Not saying I'm going to do it, but then I
Okay.
thought, wow, I still have my airline tickets to use too because
How did that work out? Did you get a credit for that?
I got a credit. So,
Okay.
but I have to use it before February 2021. So I thought,
Oh, you'll go.
well, maybe with the airline tickets, I will make it to Dolly World.
There you go.
I want to go to
You have to take lots of pictures for me.
Knoxville, Tennessee, and go down to Pigeon Forge where Dolly World is.
Yeah, my in-laws live in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Do they?
Yes.
I haven't been to Johnson City, but I know that all of Tennessee is beautiful.
Quaint little town.
Yeah.
Bonnie, did you know that 50% of employers are less likely to promote someone who uses profanity in the office?
Naturally.
So if you have a potty mouth, you can forget that promotion.
Yeah.
Did you know, according to a recent survey, 1 out of 3 married women were disappointed in how they were proposed to?
Oh, 1 in 3.
1 in 3.
Pretty big percentage of
Yeah.
the United States women right
Now,
here.
I did it big. When I proposed to Rachel,
Yeah.
you know me. I go big or I go home. That's me. I'm
Uh-huh.
a big proponent of doing it the right way.
I wouldn't be really concerned about how he proposed. I wouldn't be the most concerned about the biggest ring, biggest rock on my finger. I would be most concerned about is how that marriage runs and
Yeah,
how the marriage goes.
Definitely so. I totally forgot. I've got somebody on the phone right now, and I think it's the old man down the road. I've been letting him hang there. We only have like a minute or so, and it escaped me. Old man down the road, are you there?
Well, I'm here.
Oh.
And and someone's been knocking at my door. So hold on a second. Let me see.
All right, hurry up. We've only got a minute.
Oh my gosh, look who's here.
George, who's at your house?
Hello there, Eric. Guess what? I stopped into this house.
Oh, you came and visited George. Well, listen, I know you're going to be staying the weekend. You're going to be there through Monday. So enjoy your time in Kentucky. And I apologize. I totally forgot about you guys on the phone. So I want to invite you to come back on the show with George. And if Edna's not cooking breakfast, her as well, okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, thank you, old man. That's the old man down the road. He's visiting my good friend George in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get him on the show on Monday.
And
without
hope
a doubt.
they have a very nice weekend.
Yeah, we're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. And as always, we say Chow mein,
Honduras,
and Arriva Dirty in the words of Ellen DeGeneres.
Be kind to one another this weekend.
That's right, folks. Have a great day. Be safe out there. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you Monday.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Yep.